Yeah, what's going on? Got my tea ready. Let's get a couple kids in here really quick. See where everyone's at. See where everybody's at really quick. Wonder how we invite people in here. So check it out. Look, I'm on Facebook. Can you guys see this? And I'm blocked right now, Maddie. Look, I uploaded some. Do you know anything about the straw man and sovereignty? Living man in the flesh, right? I'm trying to load some pictures for you, right? And I'm talking about sovereignty, right? And I'm out here and I'm like, what is real is a treasury account linked to your all caps name making you a slave. And the name of this account is called God, G-O-D. Hence, in the back of the dollar bill, it says, "In God we trust." It is a trust bank account. God and the Most Highest are two separate things, right? As in all words we speak, by law, the words we speak in English have 9 opposite meanings. Like by law, there are 9 books, Black Law Dictionary, that mean that the words we speak in Old English are different from the Latin origin language, Hebrew origin language in courts. We speak in Pig Latin, upside down, inside out, and backwards. So my point is, a lot of my information on my networks are not for beginners. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you should just kindly leave my page, leave my lives. Like, don't even try to come here and try to argue with me, because this stuff is not for beginners. It's really, really not. My point of the matter is people don't really put it into perspective and connect the dots that when people pray to God, they are empowering the elite and their blood cult rituals, right? Because G-O-D, God, to those who are empowering the word God and the name God, is a all caps fictitious entity. It is a bank account named G-O-D. And that is what the numbers and the letters and the sigils on these bills represent. Okay? They're presenting the secret societies and their worship to their God, which is money in the banking systems, fractional reserve banking systems, modern money mechanics is our slavery. That's their tool, right? That is their tool, right? So you need to be careful what you represent, because these secret societies, that is their swindle. They worship Jesus as Satan, they worship God as money, and they use these words, and we empower them when we pray to them, okay? Now I go and post this online, and look at what it says. It says I can't load this information. It immediately blocked me for 3 days. It says this feature is temporarily blocked and I can't load any photos. Like, this is a huge red flag for me, right? Like, for me, I wonder if people look at these things and they care to even think twice. I know this live isn't... I know that my live and my TikTok is shadow banned just as bad as my Facebook networks are banned. And I thought that it would be cool to take you live really quick, because I get really frustrated because I want to show you guys all of this information that comes all the way from the courts that proves that our birth certificate is nothing but a banking bond. When you're born, your parents register you with the government as a corporation by receiving and signing your birth certificate. In a few years, your corporation will receive a taxpayer's ID called a social insurance number. Like, these are registered numbers. The back of your social security card are literally numbers that are printed on the bills that we create when we print money, which are debt notes. That means the money, that all money in creation that is printed is directly printed from the creation of people being born on earth. This is the control that maritime law has over all of the earth. So it really correlates with who we are, where we stand, you know, and then the swindle in religion, you know, because really intelligent and people say that religion can be used as a tool. Right? It's Ra's Legion. And then you never learn this stuff. You never learn that birth is not born. Birth is when a ship comes to dock, when it brings all of its product. So when you're bringing all of its product overseas and you're doing a shipment and you're bringing in a ship is a female, and the ship is birthing with all of its product. So it's just like, You have to understand that being born and being birthed is two different words. And by law and definition, they mean two different things. Birth is the acknowledgement of the date of your deed, not the day your body was created by the Most Highest. So you worship the Most Highest in a natural birth, in a natural law, where you understand this stuff so that you can learn how to offset your debts. Because you're not sure, because this is not simple information, right? But I get banned for it every single day, right? So again, I want to show you stuff like this. I want to show people stuff like this. I get name called, I get shit on, and I'm like, all you need to do is go look at the National Labor Relations Act, right there. Act 2129 USCA 152, Uniform Partnership Act 2. You can go look this stuff up. This is free information that people would pay billions for because it's literally connected to the billions, connected to the treasury, connected to your social security account, connected to your name, connected to you. But do you have control over it? No. Your rights were signed off down your family bloodline. Someone signed you off. If you don't know this stuff, your mother, your father, your grandparents, you don't own the deed to your own name. Right? And as much as every government is an artificial person and is an abstraction and a creature of the mind only, governing the mental, a government can interface only with other artificial persons. The imaginary, having neither actuality nor substance, is foreclosed from creating and attaining parity with the tangible. The legal manifestation of this is that no government, as well as any law, agency, aspect, court, etc., can concern itself with anything other than a corporation, artificial persons, and the contracts between them. That means, like, not you, just the paper. Like, in other words, when people get sentenced to go to jail, they should be taking their birth certificate and putting it in jail because they're taking their money and their estate. Now they're poor and homeless and don't have their money. It's gotten so bad, we now actually imprison the body. So we get people they swindle people into thinking that they're a person when they're not a person, because look, a person is a business, a company, or a corporation. So think about this. Think about everybody who owns a business, right? And everybody who owns a business is like, oh, you can't pay that you can't write that off for taxes. That's a business expense. Like, bro, this gets so deep. You are the fucking business expense. You are the business expense. You are the collateral. You are the slave to the system, right? You are a commodity traded on the market. It's called a QSIP number. It's called a QSIP number. You can look this QSIP number up and you can find you being traded as a commodity on the stock market. You can literally find it. And this is the proof behind the pudding. This is when you go into courts and you see these gold eagle representations and these court-martial representations and these gold balls and these gold spears and this all gold trim flag. It means you're a captured and enslaved vessel. That you are captured and enslaved. You are the treasure, the treasury account. God. My buddy Tyler out there pushing Jesus so hard. I keep trying to tell him. These guys worship Satan. They call Jesus Satan, right? And they worship Jesus as Satan. They worship America as a business corporate entity. They worship God as a treasure box because the treasure is you. You're captured and enslaved. This means that your country has been conquered and captured and is operating under maritime admiralty law. That means anywhere water and streets touch, you're on pirates' water. We are in a ship's water. We are lost dead vessels at sea on a pirate's water going to war. And you are a business. That means you are trespassing on pirates' land everywhere you go. You're always in trespass. That means that these courts and these authority figures always have jurisdiction over you, and you're out there legally dead, lost at sea zombies thinking that authority has control over you. And then people like me are trying to get this care to learn. I wonder if people care to learn this information. I wonder if people care to learn, because I'm trying to pump it out there. And again, I could be charging $10,000 a head just for an hour of my time to teach this information, because I am not kidding. If you master it, You can offset debts. Sign in purple ink. Use your signature to pay off your money and offset your debts. You can say that you're making a special limited appearance on behalf of the defendant, who is you right here. You can hold up your birth certificate. There's a procedure. You can actually proceed and be a sovereign man or woman. You have to know you're a man, you have to know you're a woman, and you have to live by God's natural law without religion. Good luck. Spiritual mastery. Stop eating meat, fast your body. Really get in tune with your spiritual consciousness if you really want to care about getting access to the damages and compensations due to you because you want to offset your debts. It's not called money anymore. You see what I'm saying? The one eye, the monai, the mooni. Look, everything comes from ancient Druidism, right? All the way into the Inns of Court, which is owned by London. Inns of Court is a private corporate foreign agent of the land. That means when you go to court, these British accreditation registry, these are foreign agents of the land. These are foreign agents of America. They aren't. You are having people fight your vendettas who are pirates. These attorneys, they turn you over. These lawyers are liars. They're liars of the law, right? These. You have to understand that the judge is a magistrate, a magic man, and is a trustee of the bank account that is your trust. If you don't know how to teach and tell the judge how to maneuver the court, how to con the ship, right? Con on a ship means to navigate. Con in your mind, it means to swindle. If you don't know how to con the court and you don't know how to say, I'm making a special limited appearance, meaning that you're not really there, that you're there on behalf of the defendant, who is the birth certificate, then state, I understand this process, magistrate, that the county attorney or the police officer has the policy officer has leveled a criminal charge with the clerk and against the trust using the all caps name which appears here on this birth certificate. The use of all capitalized letters is dictated by the U.S. printing standard manual script, which identifies a corporate business entity. So do you want to keep saying that you spell in all capitalized letters? I think the only thing that we do as godly people is use lowercase letters, because capitalized letters is the U.S. printing style manuscript, which explains identify a corporate entity. Do you get what I'm saying? So think about it. Since neither of those beneficiary, this leaves me. That means you are the beneficiary of your own estate, and therefore the judge is your trustee. When you start talking to prosecutors and attorneys and lawyers and you're already caught up in their game. You're already caught up in their swindle. You're already proven jurisdiction to them that you're trespassing. That you passed their gate, that you trespassed onto their ship, and they have jurisdiction over your body and over your soul because you don't understand colorable court of law. A colorable court of law means the appearance or semblance without the substance of legal right. It's the misuse of power possessed by the virtue of the state and made only possible only because the wrongdoer is clothed in authority. Because these guys have clothes of authority, police officer outfits, suits, an all black robe, because they have a clothed authority, you believe it's real when it's not. Go look up Atkins versus Lanning, DC versus Oklahoma. It is false reality. It is literally a stage. Because if you don't understand you're not a free man separate from illegitimate government, I object. I do not consent. I do not consent to these contracts. I object to what you're saying. I don't speak legalese language. I don't have a fucking clue what you're saying to me. Hey, are you Kirby Foster? I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. My name is Kirby Foster in all lowercase letters. That's what my mother called me. But I am not this fictitious persona, all caps, named Kirby Foster on paper. I'm not a business corporate entity. I'm not making money off of it. I don't have control over my estate account. I'm not offsetting my debts. I don't have access to this treasury account on the back of the dollar bill that says, "In God We Trust." I don't have that. So what are we doing here? What's going on? I think I'm being swindled. I think that I'm being Satanism. I think that all these streets and town squares and Vernon Square and the even Australian embassy and the Washington D.C. are all Freemasonic programs. A reverse pentagram with 2 points projecting upwards is a symbol of evil, and it attracts sinister forces because it overturns the proper order of things and demonstrates the triumph of matter over spirit. It is the goat of lust, attacking the heavens when its horn, a sign excreted by initiates. Don't you understand this? This transcendental magic is a doctrine and a ritual back from the 17 and 1800s. They have mastered the control over society for thousands of years. Your city halls, your Washington monuments, anywhere that you see a court building is under complete control of the beast. Okay? These are temples, they're underground sanctuaries, they have underground cities connected to them. This goes all the way back to king and queen bondage. This goes all the way back to ancient times. It has nothing to do with color. It has nothing to do with culture, color, religion, nothing. It has to do with a one bloodline, a one druid ancient belief system, and ultimate control with the ultimate wisdom, because they know more about history, which is her story, not his story, right? Because we're born in bondage. So when we speak of the Bible, I keep trying to tell people this: Bibbal. That literally means to drink the blood of Satan, right? To drink heartedly of the blood of Satan, Baal. So you have to understand, it's not like, oh, the Bible's wrong. It is codes. And if you believe in ancient Tartarian Empire technology, if you believe in the mud flood, if you believe and know of the truth behind ancient tech, and that there's pyramids that ancient cultures were able to build that people can't explain how we built today, or what the fuck they even are, why not consider that there was ancient AI technology? And it is literally revelating itself now in Revelations and in Galatians. Steadfast, therefore, if the liberty with Christ has made us free and not entangled again with the yoke of bondage. Like, what the fuck does that mean? Liberty is what you give to a sailor, right? And Christ is what the elite worship as Satan. Think about this, right? That there's no like they say, King Jesus, no man shall serve two kings. King Caesar, pay taxes, forced to pay taxes. Then you got Jesus that's talking about no bondage and thou shalt not steal, and Jesus being homeless. But again, as free and as powerful as he is, he's enslaved, he's bonded, and then he's murdered and then hung on the cross. So now you got, again, another allegory of false brethren unaware, because now you're talking about, if you want to be powerful like Jesus, you have to be hung on a cross. So now death is your only way out. This is mind control on a level that's just absolute genius. Don't you understand this, you guys? Because the interpretation and the discernment behind it all is just insane. But the only way that I like to teach people the discernment behind it is by law. Because it doesn't matter what we say or think. When authority like King Caesar can come in your home, steal your children, kill you, chop your head off, bring an entire army into your lands, you're tripping. But do you think that I want to be hung on a cross for telling you the truth? You think that I want people to worship me as God? Are you fucking kidding me? It's such a swindle. It is divide and conquer, and the hidden hand is never seen. You never see the hidden hand. You never see the hidden hand. He's in there. The guy who's in control is hiding in the back, pretending to be a woman. Like this, the swindle runs deep. You understand that? And that because of false brethren, unaware, unexpectedly brought in, who came in privily, secretly to spy out our liberty, which people say we have in Christ, which is what we have in Satan, that they might bring us into bondage. So they're considering that if you can't lie, cheat, kill, and steal, and murder, then you're going to be brought into bondage. This is the swindle that they have on your mind. That is why your sin is forgiven and people live so loosely, especially if you come from a place like Las Vegas. So the tyranny is unreal. There's no law that says you're supposed to pay for licenses, taxes, fees, permits, licensings, registrations. This is all stealing. This is a mob rule. You know what I mean? And it's all laced into the Bible. It's all laced into socialism. It's all laced into democracy. It's tyrants. It's tyrant. It's tyranny. It's taxation is literally theft, and this is literally fraud. So the creation of money and the fact that here's your birth certificate and your social security card, and The number that gives the Federal Reserve authority to print notes, known as money with your unlimited amount of labor, used as collateral to pay off the United States national debt bankruptcy. These dollars and these bills are little debt notes that literally represent your blood, sweat, and tears. And you don't own them. So you have to go to work for this currency that someone else has control over. Just because you got paid for the day doesn't mean that you're balling and you have money. You have to understand that someone owns this currency. That this is nothing but a debt note. This currency, this is a piece of paper that is not an asset. Just like any type of currency, even digital currency, is nothing but a false asset, because it's not an actual asset. It's not the land, it's not the growth. It's a security trust. It is a debt note for slavery, because the people in control of this are able to maneuver it and create its value. The people who are in control over this put little symbols on it that tell you exactly how they play the game. That they're on the top and they know all the knowledge, and that you're on the very bottom. And it doesn't matter if you have $400 million, because the people at the top own that. Don't you understand that? It's almost like saying that you work at an ice cream shop and you think that you're the master of the ice cream shop because you got all these ice cream shops and you make ice creams. But the dude owns the ice cream shop. There's an owner to the ice cream shop. And just because you make all the ice creams and you get paid to make all the ice creams and you got all the ice creams now, doesn't mean shit. Because the fucking ice cream shop owner owns this shit. These are nothing but dollars from the ice creams that you made. You think you have it all. You did all the ice creams. You made all the ice creams in the ice cream shops. You paid everyone all the ice creams. You made all the money to all the ice cream shops, and you got paid a portion of all that money. All the big money goes to the owner of the ice cream shop. If you don't understand that that's how money is, then you're going to be lost forever. Because that is what this is. It's a Federal Reserve debt note. It's a debt reserve. It's a reserve for fractional reserve banking. That means it has no value. It has no value for the value you think it has. It has zero. That is why you work your entire life. And you always need more and never have enough. You always need more and never have enough. You always need more and never have enough. And if you use origami on it, you can make it look like it's buildings being blown up, dams being blown up, destruction of the world, and you guys worship it, especially women. That's the most horrible aspect of it. You can get anyone to do anything, anywhere, at any time with the right amount of money because they have no soul. They have no soul. Anybody who doesn't want to operate with this doesn't want the money, doesn't want to carry the money, and then learns to offset the debts, because we don't want to be a part of this offering in this blood cult murderous organization. We want to not accept any contracts. I do not accept or offer any contracts. I do not accept or consent to any of these proceedings. And I will tell the county attorney to produce a 1040 on this case, to tell the prosecutor you will give him a 1040 form ASAP, because he's trying to represent me as a business entity and then pay himself out of my treasury account as a career. So if I'm the beneficiary of my own estate, then he better be, I need to get him a 1040 form. Right? So in other words, I'm proving to the court that I know that the county attorney is a foreign imposter, and if he tries to represent me or say another word, that he's outside of my rights, and every one of my rights, every minute that I'm here, every word that I say, the fact that my hair, my nails, and my blood is in this room is against my natural rights. The fact that I have to breathe in here is against my natural rights, and I'll start charging $1 million fees for holding me against my natural God-given rights, that I don't even want to be here. I don't even want to be standing in this court. And you're acting in vulture era. You're outside of your power. That you're operating in a costume, and I know you're in a costume under colorable court of law. You need to go back to Great Britain and London and the Inns of Court, because you're a foreign private agency. You are not a free man of the land. You are not someone with a birth certificate and a social security card like I am. This is what the society doesn't know. Society doesn't know that when you have a birth certificate and a social security card, hey, what's going on? They don't realize that the court they control the court. They control the trustee, which is the magistrate. They're in control of that. So the magistrate's only there because they're a representation of anyone who's a lost dead vessel and doesn't know any of this information. Because you're a coward. You need someone to fight for you. You don't know how to deal with your own vendettas. You don't know how to deal with your own you get into your own situations, you get into your own dramas, and you can't govern your own mentality. You can't govern your own life. So you operate in a beast system. So legal versus illegal is getting a cut of every transaction. So it's your 666 social security number. Look up Revelations 13:17. If you want to go into the Bible and look up the code behind it, God gives you a new name in Revelations 2:17. I am that I am, right? Because your name is really a business entity. So this is why people start pushing Jesus. You need Jesus, you need Jesus, you need Jesus. But they don't know what the fuck they're talking about when they say that. Because what it really means is coming to sovereignty and coming to God's commandment and coming to not stealing or killing or thieving, because you don't have to. You don't have to steal, kill, or thieve because it's all already yours. That's the biggest fucking swindle. The government makes it legal only if they can get a cut of the action, and illegal if they can't get a cut from the action. Hence marijuana. You have people, out of my generation, people that are like over, let's say 45, think that weed is like heroin. And that was because of this shit. You know what I mean? When it's actually a healing thing. And now everywhere it is legal, they're putting chemicals in it. So cannabis, it's just a destruction of natural life, natural law everywhere. And this is the whole reason for the whole live. So if you stay here the whole time, then good for you. Or if you just joined, then lucky you, because this is the information everybody wants. How to discharge debt using the A4V. It's acceptance for value. It's the redemption of your strawman account. This is how you access your money. If you want to learn it straight up really quick, it's called A4V. But the point of the matter is it doesn't matter what I tell you. It doesn't matter how much information I give you. I could teach you this forever. I could teach you the language. I could teach you 9 Black Law dictionaries. I can teach you quantum language, syntax, grammar, code. I can teach you how the alphabet are created sigils. Another reason why I can't post any of this online. I could teach you the symbolism behind Freedom Tower and the octagon and the center point and the reptilian mind and how our brain works and the points of how letters work and how sigils work and how language is created. I could teach you all of these things, but the point of the matter is if you don't have a sovereign soul, if you don't reach spiritual attainment and spiritual alignment because you're obsessed with this shit, then you're never going to understand anything that I'm saying. So this is why I make a live video, because the whole reason I'm making this live video, Nat, are you still here? Look, I only wanted to post everything I'm talking about. I only wanted to post it on Facebook, and this is my Facebook. Look at what I posted. This feature is temporarily blocked. All the stuff I'm showing you on the computer right now, I'm trying to post these, especially this. Language is extremely powerful. It does not change. When it is set, it's set for thousands of years. It's language, it's code. There's a system of programming going on here, and all these geometric symbols break down in hexes. Like it's a hex, it's a control, it's a distortion of natural frequency, somatics, that distorts it into a way that it's like netting it and barring it, putting it into a prison. Language is deeper than a computer program. It's more like a spell. It's like a manifestation, right? Like The Secret. It is something like a tone, vibration, frequency, like music. It makes a deep impact on our consciousness. Function codes which affect the soul, control how you think, create how you think, and control where you create your judgment from. So if you think that all caps judge, if you think that judge in all black robes is able to judge you, then you don't know what God is, right? Because right versus wrong is not something that you understand moral. You don't understand your morality, right? Because correct is based in truth, morale, and in harmony with natural law. Immoral is opposition to natural law, and nobody knows what natural law is. If somebody says the word Jesus to me and doesn't break down natural law in the same sentence, then they've lost me, because they're not connecting to that. You need to go get the New Testament and go get a Bible that has nothing but anything Jesus says written in red, so that you understand why you're representing that entity. Because it is an entity that the elites worship as Satan, so that they can have control over your soul through the ends of court, because state is a corporation, not a land, because the definition of people is different from citizen, because the city is called Mystery Babylon. We are Babylon Earth, but the word Vatican means the hill of fortune tellers and soothsayers. That's where the word Vatican comes from. Esoteric knowledge. Like, this is what the people in power know and teach to keep the power. We're talking 7,500 years. So in Vigil's Aeneid, he called the future site of Rome Saturnian, so Saturnalia, or Saturnian land, the home of god Saturn, which is Satan. Saturn's symbol is the six-pointed star. Saturn is the sixth planet from the sun, and Saturday is named after Saturn as the sixth day of the week. Saturn is another name for the Antichrist, and his number is 666, and they represent Jesus. So it's something that you need to put into consideration, that this is ancient tech. This is ancient Tartarian tech. So it's not just that, wow, these guys are geniuses. We're talking about ancient AI. We're talking about ancient mind control. This stuff is so powerful that even ancient remains that have been at one point were tried to destroy off just in its symbology are still in control today. All the symbology is what they live by. Symbolism will be their downfall when you can take this dollar bill and look at it and realize the symbols and what they mean. Because I fucking knew what they were mean before I knew what they meant. I had them tattooed on me when I was 16 years old, not knowing the significance of tattoos and sigils and putting the beast system on your body when you're not really of the dark arts. If anything, you're of the light, and of bringing the awareness to society so that you understand liberty licensing, because no state shall convert to a liberty into a license and charge a fee thereof. That's Murdoch versus Pennsylvania, 3rd 19 U.S. 105. If the state converts a right, into a privilege, and the citizen can ignore the license and the fee and engage in the right with impunity, that means every single law on earth, not just your licenses, not just your IDs, not just you have to have a fishing license. I'm talking about crossing the street, murdering people, stealing. I'm talking about fraud. I'm talking about they have legalized the most evil and satanic things without you realizing it, because therefore licensing and liberty doesn't exist, because you cannot convert liberty and charge a fee thereof it. And that is exactly what they do. They pull you over, they give you a license, they give you a ticket, and they charge you a fee. Again, if you know sovereignty, you can ignore all of this. There's a proper procedure of doing it, but again, you have to know the dark arts, and the secret societies hide it from you. And they put their symbols everywhere. So if you're very intricate, if you can channel the Akashic records and you channel spirit, you learn this information by channeling what you understand God to be, right? Here's a few of my posts that had been banned for talking about all this stuff. And it's funny because the Social Security card in the past used to say account number. It is a Social Security Act. So if you understand that, then you'll understand why I'm so passionate about sharing this information, because its proof is in the pudding and it's in your face. And they look at the words, that the account number versus the Account Security Act, because they don't want you to know that your Social Security is an account number that is accounted. It's literally a number that's connected to the Federal Reserve banks. It is a fucking bank account number. You know what I mean? And it's easier to show people like this than to just tell them, because this is esoteric knowledge and they don't understand that we're speaking in etymology and curses and anagramming, and everything's coming from Latin and Hebrew origin, and it's an interpretation of what it really is. It's a code. So everything is a code. Everything is like a treasure hunt and a wonder, and we are born at the bottom of this pyramid, and it's a maze. So the origin of the words that we speak mean that we're speaking in incorrect content. You know, when you say, I understand you, judge, that means you stand under them as a slave, that you stand underneath them, that you don't stand above them or stand over them or comprehend what they are saying, because your language is not what it really means. Parents means pay rentals. Kids means baby goats. In a lot of other countries, we slaughter goats. We milk goats and slaughter them, right? And in other countries, they milk and slaughter kids, meaning real life humans, but kids means baby goats in court, so they get away with it. This is how they swindle the system. A single ruler who only rules thy kingdom of self. Sovereignty is the state in which controls one's thoughts. their emotions and their actions, and it brings them into unity with non-contradiction, non-duality. It attains mastery of one's own consciousness. You need to go look at my YouTube somewhere. I don't know if it's on Monk Zalio or Kirby Foster, but I have an Akashic Records channeling, and it's about just dropping all the spirit contracts, removing yourself from spirit contracts. You watching TV is a spirit contract. You watch TV about them murdering and slaying someone, that's your consent. That's your consent for America to run the game. That's your consent because you worship all this money. That instead of me worshiping it, I go write Flat Earth on it. I write research Flat Earth on it. I write research Flat Earth Fight Club and go check out Strawman Unlocked because you don't even need this. The more of this you have, the more of a slave property you are. You're an asset to the slave owners. The more of this you have, is you're just a more powerful slave taking on the role of controlling other slaves so your slave masters don't have to. You're just double slaved, right? You're just slavery on top of slavery on top of slavery because you don't see this code. You don't see this somatics, you know? And then same difference, it's nice to not have a TV, Corporal, but fuck, television, sometimes you gotta find this. If I ever use the TV, I don't have a TV either. I have a sick-ass setup. I have this, right? But if I ever use TV, I'm using it to see the symbology. I'm using it to find the symbolism, right? For example, come watch The Wizard of Oz with me, because I'll break down how the wizard is the president. The Emerald City is like Washington, D.C., right? The Yellow Brick Road is the gold standard. Her silver shoes are the free silver movement. Now they're red shoes today because we walk in the blood of the innocent. The red brick road that no one talks about because we're slaughtering babies by the hundreds of thousands a month. It's not even on the news because the news is the mind program hiding it all. The scarecrow as the American farmer. The tin man is the woodman. The working industrialist. The cowardly lion is... You know what I mean? Toto is the prohibition party. The idea is Toto is the guy who is the consciousness who moved the veil to show you the wizard was nothing but an old man scaring you because you didn't have a fucking brain, because you don't know your straw man, that you don't know you're an all caps fictitious persona, and your tin man is EIN fictitious entity. I make a business out of this. My business is called Flat Earth Fight Club. Kirby Foster. All caps name. Rockers and Rollers, Window Tinting in Idaho. It's an EIN number. I literally created an EIN, a whole nother account number, which the elites are making a whole nother bank account with a whole nother treasury account with a whole nother social security account that I really don't have access to, that I'm out there tinting windows for their money. So back to the money thing. I am making money for my slave master because I don't own this money. Don't you get that? It's just dollars that I could use to do whatever I want to do with, which is pure Satanism. This allows me to do what I want, how I want, where I want. There's no legality behind it. I can pay someone to hurt someone, pay someone to cause a crime, use it to commit a crime. This is what they do. They use this money to traffic children. The biggest business in the world to make this money, if you want the most money to make this money, join child trafficking, sex trafficking, blood cult murder. Adrenochrome harvesting, and you will get all of this. But like I said, it's not sovereignty. It's not the answer, because you're not understanding. You got to go into court and be courageous, like the lion. You got to have heart. You got to be courageous, and you got to go in there and you got to say, I'm not a tin man with no heart. I got heart. I'm not a scarecrow with no brain. I got a brain. And I'm courageous enough to tell you I'm not this fictitious persona on all caps paper, because you're not some fucking wizard. You ain't shit. And I see that you're walking in the blood of the innocent, and you stole my gold standard, my yellow brick road. And I have my dog here because my dog is my peace, and it takes away my fear, and it's as easy as getting barked at or removing the veil that the judge walks off the stand and abandons ship. And you close the account. People can't think past that. People close the case. People dismiss the case. People gain access to their treasury accounts. All you see is the news where people bought RVs and $1 million homes and go to prison for it because they committed fraud, because all they did was take their social security number and go and pay for something for it. But they don't own their name, remember? Their slave master does. So it's fraud. Just because Kirby Foster is using Kirby Foster social security card to buy Kirby Foster an RV doesn't mean that RV is mine when I get it using my social security treasury account, because my parents pay rentals, signed my rights off when I was born. Why do pedophiles get more protection than me talking about this stuff? Why do pedophiles get more protection than me talking about this stuff? How come I only got 3 people in here? This is how bad it sucks. No one's interested in this information, but everybody wants the money and the access to the information, but nobody wants to sit here and listen to the information. No one wants to learn the information. Everyone wants to go shopping for some Nike or some Playboy or some Apple products or some IBM, or go on the internet, you know what I mean? Or go to a pizza party or go eat some fucking McDonald's. They don't give a fuck about learning what I'm trying to show you here. Nobody really cares about legalese language and the art of law society behind words that mean 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different things, man. Because you're on concise Oxford Dictionary, because you're a fucking ox, because you're a goddamn slave ox, and you need to go to work. You're an ox for the elite. Go to work. Because you speak in Old English, but the language is foreign. It's not written correctly by law. It's written in a foreign language. Legalese language uses English words, but it assigns them different meanings. It's important to know this when you're asked questions by police, magistrates, or judges. And I don't care, like your parents, your mom or dad might be like, oh, judges don't know this, police don't know this. Yeah, that doesn't matter. They still operate by a procedure. So if you know this, then you know that they operate by a procedure. They're using Oxford English, whether they know that they're hexing you or not, because obviously some judges do know this, but they can't tell you. So some judges are good and they're for you. And that is how I learned it, because I got a good judge who wanted to subrogate child support and teach me that I am a man that owns my own sons and daughters, that I own them as property. I told people that growing up when I was about 19, and they went berserk. They're like, your kids aren't slaves. You don't own your kids. They're free people. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Not just fighting for their slavery. Fighting for their corporate entity. Fighting for this. They're fighting me when I'm trying to teach them, like, hey, once you say that your kids are your own property and your name is your own property, you have access to billions of dollars. But they trigger. Kind of like globeheads trigger when I tell them the earth is flat. They don't want to know that their birth certificate is a bank statement. They don't want to see that when I say place them on judicial notice. Say, I place this court on judicial notice. Tell me what your oath is. I demand this court to tell me what their oath is, because when they tell you what their oath is, it will blow your mind and scare you to your bones, because it's a satanic oath. Their oath is to the bank, to the bench, right? Their oath is to Satan. Their oath is to the bank account. Their oath is to the money. Their oath isn't to the Constitution, you dumbass. Their oath isn't to the natural law. You can't use Satan to deal with your vendettas. You can't use a satanic system. You're fighting fire with fire. I mean, because you're not spiritual. You never come to the attainment of geocentric flat earth, and you never know that your bank accounts and your treasury accounts are all just a fictitious side step of the World Bank, which has control of everything. They hold the gold, they hold the money, they even have control of the religion, and it's called maritime law. It's the law of the sea. It's a masterful thing. It really is the Roman canon law. It makes you a slave to the unholy sea. The International Maritime Admiralty Law dates back to the Phoenicians. This goes back to when we originated sound coming out of our fucking mouths. Doesn't matter what language. Sound coming out of our mouths is the origination of this law system we live in. So it's laced all the way down into our language. Understand that, of course, this is why they teach English all across earth, because the real language is Canaanite, Hebrew, Druidism. It's unaccounted for. It's not a language like an alphabet. You can't see it. It's like a somatic. You can only hear it. So it's passed down generation, unless you had a table of sand and understand somatics and recorded the shapes that were made with the sounds that are coming out of our mouths. So as of today, basically every word I'm speaking to you guys here in this live is unfortunately nothing but a satanic hex. Like, unfortunately. Let's invite some people in here. I got like 5 more minutes. Where's everybody at? I try to invite some people in here. I'll save this live and post it on YouTube for everybody or something, you know. But I'm shadow banned, as you all know, you know. So the only time anyone sees this is when you see it. So I only count on us. This is for non-beginners as well. Like, you can't just come in here and understand that the Rothschild's puppets are just puppets as well. Neither federal, it doesn't have no reserves. The Federal Reserve puppets are still not even the rulers. Even these ruling families are puppets to something, some sort of entity or some mastery mind that's higher than all of this. The organizational skills needed to maintain the control that they've maintained for 7,500 years far supersedes any sort of technology or mind power or AI that we've ever even imagined, you know? Because of, as of today, these 7,500 year buildings with these sigils and these symbols still directly prove to me that we live in a uniform commercial code, and you can create a non-negotiable, accepted for value, approved for payment note like this, and you can sign your name, and you can exempt yourself from levy from the United States Treasury account and to charge the same amount to your name with your social security number. This is subrogation. Anytime that you have to pay a fee for anything in life with your name on it, if your name is on it, it already is paid. You're just getting bills. You know, have you ever noticed your utility is a statement? It's not even a bill. Go look at your utility bill. It's not a bill. It's a statement that was already paid for. They're double dipping on your ass. You're getting double dipped on everywhere. Your bank accounts, your numbers, I go deposit this into a bank, right? They take this $2,000 and they 9 times it. They 9 times it. And they didn't have it in the first place. You know? So understand your Miranda rights, bro. You have the right to remain silent. Use it. Because any word you speak is used against you as a hex. And you don't know what words mean. So don't use them. Unless you know what they mean. And you have a right to assault with an attorney. Find an attorney you can trust. If you don't know natural law, or start learning everything you can about natural law, because all your rights are already gone. All of our rights as Americans have been taken from us all the way back since 1666. And we're so stupid, we're like, we're the greatest country on earth, you know? And we haven't had any rights, our rights invoked at any time after you are taken into custody, and you should be invoked immediately. Don't you understand that? You need to invoke your rights immediately. That's the whole point. You know, that you're the living man or the living woman in the flesh, and your rights follow you wherever you go, because your home is your body. The earth is your land. And the people don't know this, because the New World Order is doing this to us as well. Because here I am that father. I've taught this to my baby mamas, just so you guys know. And both of my baby mamas has used this information against me to collect through the system. Even if I do subrogate it or prove that my sons and daughters are my property, I still don't want to take them from their satanic mother. Just because I made the mistake of, you know, having children or sons and daughters with a pagan, right? Who doesn't want to learn about this. Massive depopulation, massive defathering of children, breaking up the family unit is what allows them to control everything. Taking away the man from the woman and weaponizing relationships is how they control everything. Taking away the two genders, taking away the babies from the father, removing the husband from the wife, giving the wife half of the husband's earnings from his labor, which is already double dipped on. It just completely demoralizes man. Man comes from a position of demoralization. And then women are empowered to demoralize their own family. Women are empowered to demoralize their own family. These are techniques that family courts use to maintain control over the system, over families. Has nothing to do with family courting. It's more like a trauma-based business scam is what that should be called. Because you don't understand, the whole entire system is ran by British monarchs, and every single president is a bloodline relation of those monarchs. Every single one. They're all fucking somebody in the elitism category, because who's given CEO of U.S. satanic corporate entity that has all of our money? None of us have access to this money. So when they put their British monarch president in control, the president CEO of the United States, that president single-handedly has jurisdiction over all of our money, over the Treasury of the United States, which is now at $31 trillion. I even have, when I wrote my book, Nat, on the page where I explain the bank account and the Treasury bank account, and the name of the bank account is called God, I put that it was had $14 trillion in it, but that was my research 7 years ago. The amount of money that we have today in that account that is our money is closer to $132 trillion. Like, you got to go look at the world debt clock and look at the bottom right of unpaid funds. It'll blow your mind that basically every man, woman in the world, in America, probably has like $400 billion to their name. Every single man, woman, and child born in America that has a social security card has $400 billion linked to their name. So whose flag are you flying? Are you flying the war flag? Are you flying the old glory war jurisdiction flag? Guilty until proven innocent? Are you flying the peace flag, the constitutional law, innocent until proven guilty? That means they can't arrest you, they can't put you in prison, they can't charge you fees, and they can't tax you. So you paying taxes? What's your name? You call yourself a name and you capitalize letters, then you represent war. Are you a person? You represent war. Are you the living woman in the flesh? Then you're a peace. You represent peace. Are you living off the lands? Do you know how to use your treasury account and your social security number and your signature to pay for your bills? Then you're using your peace. You're operating in peace. Are you operating with fees by the king and fees by the court and fees by people, the world banks and that own the money? Then you represent war. Then you're representing war. You're under war jurisdiction. So your words, what you watch, what you do, what you say, who you are, where you go, where you stand, what you do, it's gonna put you automatically in war jurisdiction or peace jurisdiction. You have to be a sovereign man or a sovereign woman to operate in your own venue. If you don't know how to operate in your own venue, then you don't understand the modifications of these flags. That's the modification of the version of the United States flag of peacetime, signifying the return of peacetime after World War I. Look at that. And even then, you're still representing the Phoenix, which is the satanic cult owned by the Vatican. So this goes all the way back to the Phoenicians and Druidism and magic. Literal magic. So the treasury is not actual treasure, it's ATP, it's your neurological system, it's your brain, it's your mind, it's the control of your mind. The real treasure is you. You're the captured treasure. Remember the flag that you keep representing, the war flag? Now it's got gold trim around it because you are the captured treasure. Because you speak in a language that is not the polarity of natural law. Because you don't know purpose. You don't know potential. You don't know grace. You don't know how to surrender. You don't know the law of action. You don't know the law of rhythm. You don't know the law of free will and vibrational frequencies of the throat chakra to express what the fuck you do and do not know. My throat chakra is busted. I'm so fucking loud it's broken. I need someone to get what I have to say out because I can't shut up. I can't stop thinking about it. My throat chakra is exploding, right? I need to work on my polarity chakra. I need to work on the evolution chakra, right? Which is evolution of spirit, not a carbon meat pack body, right? Evolution of sound, G keys, F sharp keys, E major keys, D keys. That's why music is so powerful. So understand these sounds mean things, words mean things, saying what you represent in your religion directly correlates to all of this shit. Saying you believe in Jesus or the Matthew or the commandments or good versus evil or Satanism, it all directly correlates with money and power and control. That's it. Right? Gold tassel, admiralty law, right? It's a mutilation. It is a goddamn mutilation. Infringement upon your rights. It's infringement authorized on the title code 4 USA Code Chapter 1, Sections 1 and 2 flag. It is a mutilation. It's a destruction. It is a beast. Beats is an anagram for beast because it is what they use to control. They use distortion of the sound, which is a beat, which is a beta. Correct. You're connecting dots for me in the life. Thank you for being here, my good friend. Look at the golden rule, right? Blessed is he who prefers his brother before himself. Hurt not others, that which pains yourself. That natural only is good when it shall not do unto another whatever is not good for its own self. Do you understand that? So this is the sum of duty. Do not to others that which is done to thee would cause pain. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. What is hateful to you, do not do to your fellow man. What is the entire law? All that rest is commentary. So people don't know this shit. People don't know a natural law. People don't know good thoughts. It's like all your thoughts are not your own. You don't know your own good thoughts because if you did, you could get, look at here. Here's a sovereign man. He's in a goddamn baseball cap with a t-shirt and some jeans, man. He's not hurting no one. He's living by these rules. And he formulates how to control the court, and the judge bows and leaves the courtroom. And in doing so, they abandon the ship. And you for the record, I want to tell the court that the judge has abandoned the ship, and this court is acting in ultra vires. So under the want of prosecution, under natural rights, under natural law, I want to record this to dismiss this entire matter for the want of prosecution. Because under colorable court of law, this is all fraud. And the all caps business entity logo behind you with the gold trim flags and the satanic red flags representing Satan are not my God. God is of all things, and there is no name of my God. I am who I am is my God, right? And that is sovereignty. A sovereign man stands free in his ground using common law, right? And you can dismiss a case and do so when a judge abandons a courtroom. So there's no true justice in this world. Don't you see? Even the most evil of people get away with this stuff because they do evil things and then get away with this in this manner of control. So the judge has no power and never has had any power, which is more symbolism to the Wizard of Oz, which I write in my book, Unlocked Mind, which you guys can find on Flat Earth Fight Club. It's so much information. I try to compact it into a small, tiny book, right? Look, let me show you. Here it is. Let me show you really quick. Here's the book. So you guys gotta push this out there for me, because I know people want this, and it's not about money or fame or anything. This is the book that I teach my sons and daughters of what I'm telling you all. This is the book that I teach my sons and daughters about how to offset debts, about the symbolism in the food we eat, about the symbolism in religion, about how to connect the dots and how to run your bank accounts and how to run control, how to build your own entity and your own corporate entity, how to connect the symbology and the languages and how to connect all of the verses that are teaching us the truth to life. I'm teaching you esoteric knowledge. I'm teaching you everything we're talking about now. This is what the real money is right here. Right here. Adenosine triphosphate, the organic process, as I've showed you guys before in many, many videos. So again, follow my girl Nat Solitaire here. Solier. Nat Solier. Follow her because she's anagramming this shit all day. She can connect all the dots for you for this stuff if you don't get it. Right? But you have a lot of people out there that are just like, oh, this is the covenant, right? And they're talking about something in a material world, and it's not. The covenant is the neurological system firing. It's the wings of the cherubim, the covenant, the brain cerebrum. It's the covenant's the arc of your mind, the control of your brain. It arrests the true arc. It's the arc. It rests on your shoulders. It's the organic free energy of life. Like we're fucking batteries. That is why in the Matrix, like in the movie The Matrix, all life forms would look like a battery to robots. Yeah, this book's like, I make it so I can teach. I have a 17-year-old who is extremely intelligent, so I could teach this book to people in an esoteric way, or I could tell my 4-year-old, look at this picture, buddy, and tell him that this is laminin protein, and he's gonna grow up thinking DNA is Jesus, and he's gonna have a foot up on anyone who's religious. Right? 4 years old. So I want people to learn this stuff because I'm banned. I'm banned for all that. Boom. I'm banned. I'm banned for posting all this shit. It's in the book, Unlocked Mind. We can go over each one of these subjects anytime you guys want. This is for people who actually want to purchase the book, though. So, of course, I'm only showing you little tidbits. But the real information, like at the beginning of this live, could gain you access to billions. And yes, personally, I have my own business, so I have some checks laying around, and you saw the cash that I hold. I'm not a super rich man, but I work hard for mine, and I do know subrogation, and I do know how to sign my name to offset currency and offset debts in emergencies. As far as buying $1 million mansion with it, I've not done that yet, right? I've not done that yet, but instead of doing that, I've created a book that you guys can research and learn and do the same thing that I've done and get to the level that I'm at, so that at the end of the day, we can have a conversation about what life really is and where we're at and what it all means and the significance behind it all. Again, remember that word ball, B-A-A-L, by ball, ball worship, glow ball. There's a lot that people don't know about the corporatocracy that we live in. It's a giant fucking empire. Okay? It's a giant fucking empire. And the point of the matter is, I wanted to show you that so you guys could share my videos, share this live, get some more people in here, and pump this out. You know? Like, let me help you know what I know when I get the long form birth certificate and it's an American banknote company. Let them know. Oh, there's that number on the back of your social security card, and there it is in green on the dollar bill. The fuck you don't understand? Why is this capitalized letters? Why is state of Louisiana capitalized letters? Why do people keep saying God, Jesus, God, Jesus, God, Jesus, God, Jesus? There it is. There's God and Jesus we trust. Jesus, Hell Zeus. It's a trust account. There's a trust account named God. It is a literal bank account named God. It's a bank account named God, my friends. It is a complete swindle and a mind blow. Everything we've been talking about here today in this live, I tried to post. And I'm going to show you for the third and final time before I leave. Look at what it's doing. Post. Can't be uploaded. Post. I'm trying to tag you too. I'm trying to tag you. Gustavo and Nat. I'm trying to tag you. Kristen too. And Walter. And I can't even talk to you guys. What is real treasury account linked to your all caps name making you a slave? And the name of this account is called God. Hence, in God we trust. It is a trust account named God. Right? Because in the real world, people don't know. People don't know. This information isn't for beginners. And I have so many people out here hating on me and calling me names. I just ask you to kindly leave my network. So again, I ask my truther friends to get this information. I start talking about it and I'm too fast, too quick, and know too much for the average fucking Joe. Someone needs to share this information that doesn't know all of it, because I know all of it and it's too hard to slow down to teach somebody that we're speaking in sigils and spells and rites and curses and cursive and symbols and sigils and symbols and vows. If you don't know that, then you're not ready for this information, my friends. You have to understand the biggest swindle is that this is literally a bank account named God. Like, it is so horrible, I know, but we can't put energy into the word God. It needs to be a different word. It needs to be even Yahweh, Yahshua, like the DNA particles of Jesus, like the Kundalini, you know, in esotericism, or the Holy Spirit in Christianity, or when women connect with the Most Highest through their man who's following God, right? When they connect with a man who is following God, right? We all get these huge orgasmic energies, enthusiasm, anagram that word. Inside of you is the orgasmic energy of all things. That's inside of you is God. There's a good word, enthusiasm. I don't know the demonology behind that word, but enthusiasm means inside of you is God. Inside of you is with all things. I was trying to find you the proof that there is a bank account that is named God, and I can show you that. I just don't have it on me right this second, but I do have all of these different birth certificate photos that show that they're American banknote companies. You can get your long form birth certificate from like the Dominican Republic, I think, or something like that. Out of like Washington, D.C., which isn't even America. Yeah. So just pay attention to all the false flags in the world and what we're representing. Rights versus privileges. Like, remember the gold trim. You know, like, just take into consideration all of these things that I'm letting you know about. You know, even licensing a lie of your senses. License, because you think you're a piece of plastic on a piece of paper, that your blood, your skin, and your voice and your hand is not you, that you need that you need a plastic card with your picture on it, because when the government takes away your right to do something and then sells it back to you, and that is what we're talking about here. So I want you guys to start checking out all the stuff that we're sharing all day, every day, when it comes to all this information. And hey, check it out, Nat. Before I go, look, here's why our groups and pages are always so popping. Here's all the groups that we run together. That if you guys want to admin with me on Facebook, these are all the groups that we control as an admin team for Flat Earth Fight Club. See them all? So if you guys want to admin with us, check your admin, like check your groups and check them out, because we have all these sister groups, right? With Flat Earth Fight Club, right? And it's not me, it's a team, right? I like to pump Flat Earth Fight Club because that's the name that I came up with when I was 19 years old, and that's where I put all my personal stuff. But this is not just me. Flat Earth Fight Club is just an absolute team of just people that I never would have thought I would have ever met if I didn't come to Flat Earth Awareness. And they're some of the most beautiful and intelligent, wonderful people I've ever met in my life. Some of you are in this live now. And then we got the Truth Network. So we got Symbology, Symbolism, Strawman Unlocked, 144,000 Strawman. And again, I like to show you guys these because I know you want me to help you admin, but I cannot post. Look, let me show you. Look, remember all the stuff we were talking about? Let's talk about the dollar and the dollar bill and the numbers on the dollar bill linked to your soul. Look what happened. I didn't even click nothing. Nat, look what happened. Didn't even click nothing. This feature is temporarily blocked. You've recently posted something that violates Facebook policy, so you're temporarily blocked from using this feature. I don't even know what I blocked, or I've only shared like 2 things in group chat this morning. So this automatically picked up that I'm trying to share this from this photo on my computer, and it automatically blocked me for 3 days. For 2 hours and 22 minutes, 2 days and 23 hours. Like, what the fuck? Like, okay, I'm going to click on one of these pictures. You just saw me do it. And when I put the picture onto it, it's saying you can't be uploaded. I can't upload it. It's almost like my computer's being tracked for this specific file for strawman and sovereignty and natural law. Because this is insane. And I'm not fucking talking crazy. I'm an IT guy. I have a degree in science, information technology, networking, software. Like, I understand the algorithms to the software that's doing this. So I'm not talking crazy. It's not conspiracy. It's being banned. This is modern day book burning. So it's crazy because 144,000 Strawman at one point had 200,000 members in it. But of course, if my Facebook gets blocked, we lose the groups. That is why I need admins and moderators like you guys to at least come and help control with me. And then you have so many of our flat earther friends tainting all this, right? So they're putting like flat earth post into sovereign post, and it all kind of does correlate, but we need people to really separate these truths so people can study them correctly, so they're not too much information flusters people, and then they don't learn anything, right? But all I can really do at the end of the day is approve posts for you guys, because I can't tell you everything is tainted, considering we have all been lied to and living thousands of years of lives and suppressed information of our true history. Even the word Lord is a representation of Satan, and I try to tell people that, and I can't get it out there. I try my best. Luckily enough, I have the Secret Covenant up right now on my Kirby Foster Facebook, but which is crazy because on my website it's showing hundreds of thousands of people a week seeing it, and here on Facebook it only has 21 views and like 10 likes, and I can't do anything. Everything I do on my Facebook, like you're saying, Gusto, is AI surveillance blocking me everywhere. And I don't mean to rant or complain. I really don't. I just want people to see it. I want people to see it. If what I'm saying is such bullshit, if everything I say is such bullshit, right? Then why am I being banned for saying it? How come this keeps popping up every second? I can't even look at my Facebook page. Like, it just pushes me out. Like, I'm off. I'm out. I don't want to be here. Satanists do have a plan to destroy all of Earth with technology that has already done it before. Hello? You think anyone sees this? Out of my hundreds of thousands of followers? I'm entertaining myself over here, dude. I'm just fucking entertaining myself, bro. It's fucking sad, bro. But I love you guys. And I appreciate you being here on my live. And I hope to see you on my Facebook and YouTubes. Flat Earth Fight Club YouTube is up. And I'm pumping a lot of truth out there. And I hope to see you guys around. Love you guys.